So hey guys, and welcome to the video. Today, indeed, I'm going to be talking about my most notable coaster credits. Just a quick rundown for those who don't know what a coaster credit is. A coaster credit is a term used for someone that rides a roller coaster. So for instance, if I was to ride Nemesis for the first time, I would get a coaster credit for riding Nemesis. So guys, let's dig into some of my most noteworthy coaster credits. Let's start off with the American Adventure. This was my first theme park and I was really young when I got to go. So a lot of the rides at the American Adventure were flat rides. So I didn't get to go on many coasters there. The first one that I have on my list is the Buffalo. So this is now at Twin Lakes in Melton Mowbray. The second one that I have on my list is the JCB Twin Looper. This was my first inverted roller coaster, and at the time when I was a kid, I didn't realise that this was actually an inverted roller coaster. So yeah, you could say it gave me quite a fright when I was a kid. And the last one on my list for the American Adventure is the Runaway Mine Train at, of course, American Adventure. So guys, secondly, we have Alton Towers. The first roller coaster that I have on my list is the Beastie, a good little dragon roller coaster that used to be at Alton Towers, where the Octonauts coaster is now. Secondly, I have the Runaway Mine Train, great little runaway mine train. Secondly, I have the Spin Bull Whizzer. I don't enjoy this one as much as I used to be honest with you. I think it's had its time at Alton Towers. I know I'm going to get some flack for that in the comments, but that's just my personal opinion. Rita, again, one that I don't particularly enjoy, but I do enjoy going on from time to time. So I'll probably go on this one every other visit as opposed to waiting an hour in the queue for it. Next we have Galactica, used to be Air. I never went on Galactica when the VR was a thing, unfortunately. I would have liked to have experienced the VR actually, but apparently from what I've heard it didn't work very well. And when it did, it wasn't particularly great. So next guys, we have Oblivion. This was the world's first vertical drop roller coaster. I do enjoy Oblivion, I do like it, it's just a bit of a short ride for me. But again, I enjoy it, and I enjoy going on it, and I enjoy it for what it is. Next we have 13. So I remember the first time that I went on 13, I was not expecting a drop whatsoever, so spoiler for you guys that haven't been on 13 yet. If you haven't been on 13, what are you playing at? Next, we have the Wicker Man. This brilliant GCI roller coaster hit Alton Towers in 2018 and is fast becoming one of my favourite rides at Alton Towers. Next, we have my second favourite roller coaster at Alton Towers. It's the Smiler. Yes, so the Smiler is one of my favourite roller coasters because it's truly impressive for the size of the coaster and what they managed to fit in that hole that they dug. It's on the former site of the Black Hole. The Black Hole being a good coaster that used to be at Alton Towers, now isn't at Alton Towers unfortunately. But we do have the Smiler in its place, and as I say, it's my second favourite roller coaster. So that must mean that number one, my favourite roller coaster at Alton Towers and one of my credits is the Nemesis coaster. Absolutely love Nemesis. You know, it was the first ride that I actually ever rode at Alton Towers. When I went with my parents as a kid, they took me straight to Nemesis, and they basically said to me, if you can't do the Nemesis, you can't do any other ride at Alton Towers. And they were exactly right. It's a great coaster, just a great amount of intensity, and it's just a good ride throughout. And as I say, it's my favourite ride at Alton Towers. So next we have Fantasy Island at Inglemells. There's quite a few coasters here, and I've ridden pretty much all of them. So the first one that I have on my list is the Millennium Coaster. If you look at the skyline, the Millennium Coaster is the yellow one. It's a really good Vekoma roller coaster, and it's one of my personal favourites there. But not my favourite. My favourite is actually the Jubilee Odyssey, and again, that's the red one that you can see on the skyline as you pull into Inglemells. In fact, you can see it from miles back if you drive to Inglemells. It's one of the first coasters that you do see in the skyline. It's a great smooth roller coaster for what it is. Normally Vekoma inverts are quite rough. This one isn't. I don't find this to be too much of a rough experience. The way that the roller coaster is designed means that it does go around nice and smoothly, so that's why it's my favourite. The third one that I have on my list is the Toucan Tours. Now, Toucan Tours, well, technically not a roller coaster, more of a monorail. I'm going to count it on my list as a roller coaster credit. And the last one we have, guys, for Fantasy Island is the Jelly Baby roller coaster. Yes, as a kid, I did go on the Jelly Baby roller coaster, therefore it is a credit, and don't you dare tell me it's not. So guys, next I have Thorpe Park. So the first roller coaster that I have at Thorpe Park is Stealth. Great roller coaster. I absolutely love it. You know, it's getting on a bit high for me. I don't do well with heights. I definitely don't do well with flying in aeroplanes. But yeah, as I say, it's going on for being that for that height limit for me personally. I know that the Jubilee Odyssey roller coaster is quite high at Fantasy Island, but again, that's pushing the limits for me, really. So I'll definitely do well with the big one at Blackpool when I get to go next week. The next roller coaster I have on my list for Thorpe Park is the Swarm. A great B&M wing coaster, it really is. I remember going a week after it opened with my parents when I was a bit younger in 2012, and I absolutely loved it. Really, really did. It's a great ride, especially when the seats were turned backwards. Personally, I really enjoyed the backward seats, so I don't know why they made the decision to take that out. But yeah, it is what it is, and Swarm is second on my list. Next we have Soar the Ride, a great Gerstlauer coaster. Really enjoy Gerstlauers. That's why the Smiler is my second favourite roller coaster at Alton Towers. This one doesn't rank so highly. Personally, I find it to be a bit rough, and there's just nothing really that special about it compared to other Gerstlauers, but you know, it is what it is. Next we have the Nemesis Inferno. So this one is a great inverted B&M coaster. Really enjoy it. It's not as good as the original in my opinion. I feel like the original Nemesis is special for its terrain hugging, whereas this one isn't as terrain hugging. It's quite high in the skyline, so it's, you know, it doesn't really have that element that the original Nemesis has, but it's still a great roller coaster for what it is. So next we have Colossus, the world's first 10 looping roller coaster. This was taken by the Smiler, which is now the world's first 14 looping roller coaster. The Colossus is a great roller coaster. It's a bit smooth in some parts. I do find it to be a bit rough, especially around the first couple of loops, but you know, it is what it is again. I do enjoy Colossus for what it is though. So next we have the best roller coaster at Thorpe Park, the Flying Fish. So yeah, the Flying Fish is the Flying Fish. If you've been to Thorpe Park and you've been on the Flying Fish, you know what the Flying Fish is. And lastly, at Thorpe Park, we have the X Coaster. This is now the Walking Dead, but the X Coaster was basically a, how would you describe it? Like a disco on a roller coaster, for those who had never been on it. I really enjoyed it when it was X, and I've not been on the Walking Dead yet, so I can't say for certain whether the Walking Dead is better than X or not. but we shall have to see when we do get to go to Thorpe Park later this year. Hopefully for Fright Nights. I'll let you guys know in a vlog if I do prefer it to X or not. So next, guys, we have Lightwater Valley. I've not been to Lightwater Valley since I was a child, so since about 10, maybe 11 with my parents. So I couldn't tell you if I have ridden more than this, to be honest with you, because I really can't remember. The two that I can remember, though, is the Raptor Attack. Now, Raptor Attack used to be the Rat Ride. I ridden it last when it was the Rat Ride, when the coasters were rats. I'm not sure whether they are still rats or not, but it was the Rat Ride. It was a good dark ride when I went. And lastly, we have the Ultimate being a roller coaster that was made and manufactured by British Rail. It's an interesting ride, to say the least. I would like to try and get back to Lightwater Valley just to ride the Ultimate, just to see how it's held up throughout these years, because I know it's getting on a bit now, and with the way that things are going in the world, we really do need to start getting out and supporting these theme parks. So Lightwater Valley will definitely be one that I'll be going to in the future. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you have enjoyed this video, please do click that like button. Leave me a comment as well. I'm really interested to know if you've got any honourable mentions for coaster credits that you have personally. Also guys, if you're not subscribed yet, please do click that subscribe button down below and click the bell so you don't miss a single video. I'm going to peace out, guys, but thank you very much for watching the video once again, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.